to do digital transformation. We are in 11 countries with the 20 global offices. Odoo has been one of our forefront partnerships that we carry for digital transformation for our customers. We generally focus on retail, healthcare, education, fintech, manufacturing and distribution from a vertical focus point of view. Odoo implementation has been one of our success story for the last 4 to 5 years, and it has grown significantly from a digital transformation implementation. And we are very proud to be associated with Odoo. And I have our great customer with us, Mr. Anand, CEO and founder of Amiviz, and they are into software distribution. And they were looking at a digital transformation journey wherein, Brainwire and Odoo came together with them. And I think I will leave it up to Anand to give a little bit of more details.
That's wonderful. Anand, welcome. Thank you for being here. I would love to learn more about Amiviz and about yourself.
Thank you, Chintan, and thank you, Yoshi, for having me here. I'm more than happy to share my experience. For the last 10 years, we were doing the value-added distribution business, focusing on cybersecurity products, which means that we had operations in 15 countries and a reseller network that used to sell and buy from us. Now, ours being value-added distribution, it involved the whole sales process, right from approaching and appointing and identifying partners to pre-sales, to marketing, to fulfillment, logistics, everything. And we had been it was more of a human-centric business. While the COVID situation came in, we all were compelled to think how things are going to change as we had limited mobility and there were issues in being present in front of the customers, traveling was restricted, and obviously everything around us was changing. So that's where we thought about a digital transformation project of our business. And here we are having implemented the phase 1 of the project.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of sophisticated moving parts, right? And so moving towards a digital environment is, I'm sure, challenging. I mean, can you tell us a little bit more of what specific challenges your company was facing that allowed you to consider moving towards this direction?
So we realized that the world around us is changing and we need to adopt the digital platform for achieving our 4 core objectives. First of all, we felt that collaboration is going to change, which means that emails are going to become obsolete. They'll only remain for some traditional form of communication. Everything is moving towards chat. And then second aspect pillar was automation. Everything is being automated around to bring the cost and efficiency into this built in the system. The third pillar for us was our CC lab, which we call as Customer Experience Center. Now, all the technologies are being deployed in the cloud. And this was more even urgent because of COVID situation where our engineers could not travel to the customer site to demonstrate the capability of the product, which means we had to find an alternate way of still doing the business as before. So that was the third pillar and challenge for us. And the fourth was data intelligence. We had to ensure that different profile of people we deal with within the organization, for example, sales, pre-sales, marketing, engineering, finance, procurement, all of these require data in different forms and shapes. And we were not able to provide them customizable to a user role. So all these challenges made us think about how we can digitally transform this company into a different platform.
You know, it's so funny that you bring these 4 pillars up. They are right now hot topics across so many different sectors. Let's go ahead and talk about them again. We have communication, right, that you mentioned, automation to make work significantly more efficient, having a customer-centric focus with things being on the data being on the cloud, and really just transforming the way we do business to have the customer at the center of the focus. And then ultimately, data intelligence. If we don't know what strategies are working, how are we going to improve? So just to reiterate those 4 columns, I think that those are the main pieces, and quite honestly, a compelling proposal to move towards a digital strategy. Chintan, can you tell us a little bit about what Brainwire did to address these 4 different pillars?
Definitely. So some of the most important aspect was that to having a global communication platform between the resellers, distributors, in-house Amiviz team, and having a visibility at a management level to make sure that all those data is available. So that is where the Odoo collaboration tool played a vital role, and Odoo selection was one of the important aspects of that. Second was internal communication, which was very important within the company, that they communicate, collaborate, automated some of the sales processes, at the same time some of the distribution processes, which was very important. Third, which was the main pillar, was from a multi-country and multi-geography, collaborating those things together and making sure that everything comes from a data point of view, so that analysis of a different data happens. And they are being present in a GCC Middle East countries, each country operating their own different environment. And we had to make sure that all of those things are implemented in a single platform. And that is where those open architecture and modular architecture of Odoo was very important. And we were competing against Zoho. We were competing against Salesforce and a couple of other platforms. And that is where, this advantage of the platform and the architecture was one of the key aspects. And that was one of the main aspect of selection of the Odoo, and the modularization implementation was something which was the key to address those pillars.
Now you mentioned Zoho and Salesforce. I mean, I'm sure that you saw some shortcomings with this system. What was work like prior to this digital transformation? What did Amiviz look like? If you can elaborate a little bit on that, and tell me how the systems work and what you were using.
So we were traditionally using Zoho as CRM, and honestly, we were very happy with the CRM tool. But when we looked at the digital transformation, it was much more than just the CRM part of it, right? Because we wanted to integrate the collaboration, which was our own chat system. And if you rightly look at the world, everything is moving towards chat-based solutions. Amazon bought Wickr. Slack was bought by Salesforce. So all of them are moving towards the chat platform. So we wanted to have our own chat platform that integrates and communicates with the CRM in a way that everything is automated, including creation of opportunities. It has to be automatically created, and the sales guys have to do very little data entry into the system. The resellers, they should be able to process these orders in real-time basis with all the approvals coming in without any human intervention. And all of these had to seamlessly integrate with our CEC lab, which was the cloud platform. Now, when initially I thought about this and I researched a lot myself before reaching out to Brainwire, I thought it was not possible to get all of these into single, because there were point products available in the market, but none of them could put it together. Now, the thing for us, which Brainwire really made us happen, was they were able to integrate all of these with the Odoo open architecture. And that was the only solution in the market that gave us the ability and flexibility to integrate all of our things together into a common platform. And that's where we're very happy with the way the product has shaped today.
I mean, it's so incredible the way we are moving so quickly into these automated cloud-based solutions. Integration is critical. Something that I always would say is visibility equals accountability. And having collaborations across all platforms and across your entire business is really going to help you be significantly more efficient. And that's, I also believe that that's one of the biggest value propositions for Odoo. And I'm glad that you agree with that as well. All right, Anand, can you tell us now what have been some of the positive immediate results that you have seen since working with Brainwire? And I know there's lots of steps and there's lots going on. Implementations aren't done overnight and there's different phases, but what have been some immediate results that have really solidified your decision on going with Odoo and using Brainfire to implement?
So I'm the biggest success factor was the product, the way it's shaped was exactly how it was conceived. And we did not have to make too many changes in our thought process because the platform provided the capability to do everything that we wanted. And that makes us very unique in the market. If you look at the value-added distribution space, globally, I'm talking about, you have seen B2C very well established, with Amazon and so many other online e-commerce platforms. Then came B2B, where Alibaba was able to give that additional flexibility of being able to negotiate and for prices on a bulk order. Now, for a value-added distribution platform, it is a complete sales process. It is not just that the customer knows what he wants to buy. So there's a whole sales process for him to understand which technology to buy, see the capability, and then go through a proper RFP, because this bids can be in $100,000 or $1 million+. So no one else today has been able to bring that and into a digital form. And today we can proudly say that Amiviz is very unique in the world, and we are seeing a big interest from all our suppliers and vendor partners and resellers to do business with us, because we have not only got into digitally, but we've also brought it on the mobile phones. So people can do all of their transactions through the mobile phone, which has an app, which has a chat platform, which has all the integrations. And Odoo mobile app, again, was very helpful and flexible in integrating and white labeling it as our own app. So in total, this has transformed, and we see a very big jump and growth in our business.
I mean,
and we have become a
congratulations on
thought
the
leader.
growth.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And having that mobile optimization, that mobile phone optimization, certainly ties in to one of those 4 pillars of having a customer-centric experience. We all know that everything now is pretty much done on our phones, and having that as one of the key components to your digital transformation strategy is a winning recipe for success, I think. So we've learned a lot about some of the challenges that you've had at Amiviz, what the solutions that Brainfire has provided, and then some of the results. Anand, can you tell us now some tips there for some business owners? We have a huge global community of business owners. If you could give yourself some advice or more audience advice, what would be some great takeaways or best practices that you can share with us?
The biggest learning for most of the corporation has been the COVID experience. Things that we have thought before were not possible today are being made possible through the digital transformation journey. We need to quickly adapt and learn. Things are changing around us, and if we don't quickly adapt to things, either we will perish as business, or somebody else is going to take over. And I always quote this example to all my team members of Nokia, right? 10 years, 15 years back, Nokia was just number 1 out there with 60-70% of the market share, and nobody could think that anything could happen to such a big company. But 10 years later, and it does not even exist, right? And it did not exist because it did not adapt to the changing needs of the customers and markets. So this is my takeaway to everyone: adapt to the change, be quick enough to learn what's surrounding, and digital transformation of the business is the way forward for the next decade.
I couldn't agree with you more, Anand. That Nokia example really resonates. It was my first phone, and it just seems like a dinosaur when we look back. I feel that Palm Pilot and then BlackBerry also went through similar extinction as a result of their inability to move. But you're absolutely right. Moving, evolving, changing, and growing are all parts of this experience as business owners. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the wisdom that you've shared with us, as well as getting some insight as to your company and what's next. So actually, before we close, what is next? I want to take a little opportunity right here to just understand what's next with Brainwire and Amiviz?
So I will take it a little bit. So definitely,
Sure.
I mean, the phase one was the implementation of the digital journey. Now the phase two, phase three, phase four is going to be that collecting the data, analyzing the data, doing some automation with AI and ML to make sure that this data has been used in the right way to make the right decision, and also helping the distributors, resellers, internal staff with the right set of platform and the data to make the correct decision, and maybe automate to some level of AI and ML. I mean, that's what on a high level. Maybe Anand can add a little bit if he wants to add.
So from a perspective, we have achieved the first level of digital transformation, but the second level for us is getting to understand our customers better, profiling them into their roles. So for us, data intelligence would be something we would be working on in the next phase to make it even more smarter with AI and ML tools, so that we are relevant with the information that we give to people within our customers to make strategic decisions. And that's where our bonding and connection with our customers will grow stronger and help the business. And like I said, we have profiled customers in different roles as marketing, sales, finance, and all of them need data differently in a different format. And that's where our success will lie.
Well, I wish you on so much success and for the continued growth for Amiviz. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here today. Chintan with Brainwire, Gold Partner. As always, such a treat to see you and to be part of this collaboration. Anand, again, thanks again for being here. Lots of success in the future. We'd like to open this session up for questions. And thank you again for being here.
All right. Well, that was thank you so much again, guys. And we are going to open up the live chat. We have already a question that has come in. This one's from Alejandro Ruiz de Chavez. Anand, did you consider other big competitors? And what convinced you to root for Odoo at the end of the day?
So as I said during my discussions, for us, it was more about Odoo being an open source platform integrating with other components. For us, digital transformation journey is built around Odoo, but Odoo is not the only component. There is collaboration, there is a lot of automation, there is our cloud platform, which is used for the CEC Customer Experience Center lab. So all of this had to be integrated for a seamless experience for our customers and resellers. And that is where Odoo helped us because of its open source. Other platforms, they had their own solutions, and it was not possible to customize and integrate to the extent that Odoo offered.
Got it. So just to summarize, Odoo's flexibility, ease of use, and the open source architecture allowed it to be much more amenable to your needs. Is that correct? And that's why you went with Odoo?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. While we wait for more questions to come in, oh, here we go. Migrating from SQL Server to Odoo, what are your recommendations for accounting software development? This is from Dominic.
Okay. I will take that.
Thank you, Chintan.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, migrating from SQL to Odoo is very much possible because Odoo runs on PostgreSQL. And when you're migrating from SQL, there is a way to do it and there is a step-by-step process. There are a couple of Odoo apps are available. So if you use that in a right way, you can do it very easily. Now, in terms of accounting, the major question comes is all about a data migration up to the what level you want to migrate. Do you want to migrate 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? So for example, in Canada, we did one of the accounting software migration. We migrated 3 years data. And after that, they had a policy for 7 years. But we said, let's only migrate the last 3 years and keep the 4 years previous before that in the previous system and just store it somewhere so that you can utilize. So it's all going to be depend upon the data migration. If you have a clean data, you migrate as much as you want. If you don't have a little bit of clean data, at that point of time, I think you should migrate 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years from accounting point of view. And SQL to Odoo migration is very much possible. It should not be that difficult task.
Thank you very much, Chintan. That was very, very informative. Let's see. Here's another question. How do you keep all of your employees up to date on the new version of Odoo?
So, I mean, there is going to be, research and study and the knowledge management. So when we implement knowledge management for our customers, the important thing in the software and the technology industry is about the knowledge management. So in our company and in our processes, we have a process in place that there is going to be weekly couple of resources or couple of brainers get an opportunity to study the thing, and they don't need to work on any other project. Those two people are going to get a chance to study about the software technology and the new version which is coming, and then whatever they learn they present to the entire team. So that's how we keep updating ourselves from a technology and the knowledge management point of view. And it's not about the internal team and the brainers, but it's also important that you keep updating your customers or your end clients, which new version coming, when they are coming, what is going to be the impact according to their implementation, and what makes sense. So that is something that we do it very proactively for each and every customer. When the new version come, we look at their features and see what is the impact coming from them, and we guide them in the right way. An internal knowledge management system within the company and giving some freedom to the team to study is the best way to keep updating ourselves and the team about the new versions which are coming.
Wonderful. That's a lot of good tip there to take away, Chintan. We have another question here from Vedant. Now, we heard in the talk that there was a migration from Zoho, a company that we all know, to Odoo. What is your experience post-migration from Zoho to Odoo? Can you tell us a little bit about what that migration process looked like, please?
Yes.
And that could be either Chintan or Anand. Either one of you can answer.
I think Anand, your voice is not coming out. So yeah, I will take it in the meantime. Yeah. So, when we migrated from Zoho to Odoo, there are a lot of things. We have to make sure that the experience is better. At the same time, functionalities and features are better. Now, when we are migrating, again, the same thing, that you need to decide how much data you want to migrate, how much information you want to migrate, what are the best practice followed in the Zoho from a customer point of view in terms of Amiviz, and we need to migrate those workflow. And Odoo with a component-based architecture, you can easily migrate because there is a certain way that company is doing the business, and they wanted to keep those workflow. Plus, Odoo brings some better workflow, so they want to adapt to that, but not all of them, right? Some of them, they still want to keep their old workflow. So that is something which is very crucial, and that is something which is very important. So when we migrated or when we moved out, we made sure that whatever the best practices that they were following in Zoho and they were comfortable, and we did a lot of initial session with the discovery session with Amiviz team, and that's where defined that these are the workflow we will not touch. We will exactly migrate as per it is. And then there were other workflows and the new workflows which we said, okay, we'll migrate in a better way of implementation. We'll make it smarter. Plus, we'll use some intelligence tool within that session. So those were the things that we kept in mind. And Odoo has helped us in such a big way because of those component-based and modular-based architecture, it was very easy to keep certain workflows as per the previous system and certain workflows from the best practice from the Odoo point of view. And I think that is where Amiviz team was very clear in that thought process, which workflows they want to keep in certain ways and which workflows they are ready to explore the new dimension.
Yeah. So from my side, I would say, it was important for us because there were lots of opportunities, a lot of data that was captured in Zoho for the last 6-7 years that we have been using the system. So I think so here, Brainwire team really helped us in creating migration tools.
that ensured that the data was transferred from Zoho into the Odoo system. So we almost could recover 90% of the data, and then 10% was still required to be cleaned up. So it was not much of an effort. It was quite smooth experience for us because of the Brainwire team developing certain tools for it.
Great. I have one another question that just came in. Anand, this is from Essam. He wants to know, what were the major influences, or what influenced your decision to move to Odoo? Was it commercial or the functionality of the platform? What were your motivating factors here?
So it was a combination. When we conceived the idea of creating Amiviz platform, which would transform the way value-added distribution is consumed into a digital platform, there were many challenges. We were talking about 4 pillars: collaboration, automation, our CEC lab on the cloud, and the data intelligence. So all of these 4 pieces of puzzles putting together was a very, very difficult proposition in terms of any solution being able to offer. So Odoo offered us the flexibility, as I said, of putting various solutions into one piece of together. And second, an important aspect was commercial as well, because we wanted the tool to be commercially viable and feasible to support our business operations. I saw some of the tools that were available in the market, which were cloud-based, SaaS-based solutions, and they were very, very expensive in terms of the OpEx. So we were okay with the capex cost, but we want to be sure that we maintain a low OpEx for it. So that's where Odoo scored for other solutions, against other solutions.
Wonderful. I am so sorry, we are out of time. We have 2 more questions, one from Robert, one from Zorba Greek. Thank you for the questions. They can be taken to Brainwire's booth. You can ask your questions there, and they can be answered immediately. Again, thanks again, gentlemen, for your participation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Yoshi. Thanks, Anand.